So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another episode of the Financial Life Podcast. I am your host, Matt Dillingham. Today I have a special guest, but all my guests are special, but this one's like different, unique, all the fun stuff. Randomly met on Facebook from a post I made in a Facebook group. I forget where. We'll get into her in a bit. But before I do, have my what I call my shameless promotion. So some of you may know, some of you may not know. I do some things, some thingy things. You know what I mean? Some things with like financial literacy, and that involves helping people out with like credit, financial coaching, other stuff to really help to start shift your limiting beliefs, unconscious identity, all that stuff, right? If you like help with that and some other things too, right? You can go to speakwithmatt.info. Again, speakwithmatt.info. No need to put in the triple W. Takes you direct to my calendar. Book a call, 30 minutes. We'll talk about it, go from there. And also, this podcast is also sponsored by Born to Risk, which I'm one of the co-authors on. I'm in chapter 39. If you'd like a copy of that book, please reach out to me, and all the proceeds go to help other veteran organizations. I'm a veteran myself. We need it, so it's going to a good cause. With that being said, I'd like to introduce my guest, Trey Urban, or Trey, as I call her, Trey. And
Yay.
we had a great conversation. I feel like it's been over a month or so. We're basically on the same page. The whole spiritual thing, energy, and your journey. You told me about what you have and what's been going on, and how this ties in with money and all that stuff. We'll get to that, but really, it's good to have you on, Trey. How are you?
Oh, I am so blessed, Matt. I am congratulating you and thanking you for serving the country, but
Thank
just
you.
honoring you for continuing to pour back into the community. And I just know that for all that you do for others, it blesses you with expansive experience and new opportunities. So I'm so excited for you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for being on. You could have been in anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me. For that, I appreciate you. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yes.
so let's start here. So, who are you exactly? What's your story? I know you told me about what do you do and how do you do it and who do you help and all that fun stuff. You got like a great lineage. You had ancestors and you had more powers, and I don't remember everything, but tell me or tell the world what's going on.
Hey y'all. I am Trey Urban. I am your energy alchemista. And you know how I got that? Well, first let me share.
Okay.
I'm from the Mile High City, Colorado, born and raised. I have three kids. I have six grandkids. I already have three documented, verified great grandkids because I'm
Documented
pretty
and
sure
verified. I like that.
there might be a couple more. I'm thinking, but haven't been accounted verified yet. So
Right.
but in the end, you know, I had this is why these amazing babies and that I love so dearly to my heart changed my life. I was impacted. I was paralyzed in a car accident in 2010, and let me tell you, those babies were the reason why I began my healing journey. And I was just blessed that not only did God continue to align one person after another in perfect sequence to help me, but then they also taught me. They taught me about how the mind and the emotions and that spiritual body can really help heal the emotional the physical body. And I was like, so not only in my healing journey did I begin to experience the transformation from I was actually noodle legs, you guys, like noodle legs. For years they told me to get in a wheelchair and I wouldn't, and I threw back the handicap placard. I wouldn't even take that. I was like, no. And I got a full walker, and I started my journey, and I just gave thanks every day for um I still pray this prayer and give thanks all day for it, for my next teacher, my next wisdom keeper, and my next healer,
Hmm.
because we are all healing. If we're here on earth, if you haven't crossed over, you're on a healing journey of some kind, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually. So from that amazing journey, I for over a decade now, I have been an internationally recognized medicine woman,
Oh,
healer,
wow.
certified. I have I'm a number one best-selling author in 13 different countries. I have just released my latest book. I'm so excited about release Trauma to Triumph. So go out to Amazon. It's on ebook or paperback. If you guys, again, that is Release Trauma to Triumph, and go and check it out. I would invite you to, because not only do I share about my whole journey about being paralyzed and all the years of physical therapy, and the year it took me 13 years to get in a pair of heels, unwavering
13
faith.
years.
13 years of
Wow.
unwavering of of transformation, continued transformation. But yes, so I'm thrilled that I have helped now over 1,300 people to transform their trauma. You know what I mean? Because it's really it's the people don't understand trauma. They use this word like this blanket, but it's unique in each person, and it shows up uniquely in their recipe. And so unless you're understanding that it's misconceived as other things sometimes, because even limiting beliefs are traumas. Usually it is because somebody told you you were dumb or you would never make money or whatever, and you're like, nah, and it's stuck with you. It's a trapped trauma or an
Right.
unprocessed emotion, because we didn't talk about it. We didn't tell everybody. They said I was dumb. They didn't know. We just are like, and so that stuff actually energetically shifts us. And what I love about what you do is I love helping people, because once I work with them, then and then the limiting beliefs are gone, and now not you're thrive able to master those emotions.
Right.
Shoot, when you can not be in a turbulent white water all the time emotionally, then spiritually it's like you truly are hearing these alignments and feeling and sensing, and your instincts are on fire and alive, and then you know you're here to do something amazing. And then I love helping people make money doing what they love, because once those are gone, you know, the people I work with, they're like, I always wanted to do blah blah blah, and then they go and do it, and then they thrive, and then the abundance come in the best life, and they wake up every day freaking happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, and but they need, see, we all work together. You need financial people, you need the people to help you understand how to build the structure. So I am so grateful. I heal them and I'll toss them to you. And then
Yeah.
you can toss them back, and we'll just keep them shifting,
Right.
because it's an evolution. It's a transformation. It's This life is an ongoing saga. It's a journey. That's why it's a journey. It's a journey. Each goal, people set goals, but they don't realize that that is just part of the journey.
Right.
And that goal is going to open up another thing, because what it's going to take for you to learn to get that opens up all these new awarenesses, and then the next thought and the next new thought, and then that wants to be answered, and then a new question, and the next thing you know, it's like, when you first I love the crayon analogy. When you're in kindergarten, you get the set of 8 and you think it's great, and they're big and they're great, and then next year you have to get the 12 box, and then the next year you have to get the 40, and you're like, wow, I didn't even get 48. And then next thing you know, there's 120, and then you
Right.
really get, and there's like 200 and whatever. And that's the way it goes. It's just this evolution of awareness, and if you continue the journey, then each thing leads to its next huge layer of possibilities that you didn't even know before. So I love it.
That's a lot. Yeah, yeah. Going back because I've seen not seen well, I've seen because of like social media and things now, especially like you said, the trauma thing is a blanket thing. And trauma isn't just because I used to think trauma was just like, okay, you were abused, sexual
Yeah.
exploitation, war, like the really things like where it's clear, okay, obviously
PTSD.
that's traumatic, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What people don't realize, and I'll have you elaborate more about on this, is that like trauma can be simple as you mentioned it, where it's like you were 3 or 4 years old, just being your fun, happy self, and then you touch something, and you're like, "What are you doing? Touch that?" You're like,
Yeah.
trauma, because you don't deal with it, it stays in there, and So what people don't realize about what do people realize about trauma, what it really is, what it looks like? Because I've seen people say, I have so trauma with this, and then they identify with it. You're not your trauma. It's not you. And they use it as like this badge of honor, and I'm like, stop. And then they wonder why they're unhappy.
Please. Exactly. And this is what I love to share with people. If you are ever, if you ever have a thought that is unpleasant, I don't care if it makes you sad, if it's fearful, if anxious, depressed, whatever, anything other than joy, peace, harmony, anything other than that is a trauma. Anything other than that, that's a flag. That is your mental body going, hey, I just got triggered. And this is why I'd love to teach. So if you guys, I have so many links, you guys. So if you want, I perceive that we all have four energy bodies. We have a mental one, an emotional one, a spiritual one, and a physical one. And I believe the mental one, it is here to do three things. It's here to teach you, protect you, and motivate you. And that's its only job. So every time it brings up this thought, I don't have enough money, you don't have enough support, you're not smart enough, it's either wanting to teach you that some lesson, like maybe don't, or like don't touch the stove. It's trying to teach you or motivate you to, well, you don't know enough, you don't have enough information, so maybe if you go get some more information, it's just a flag, so you could
Yeah,
perceive it as the flag trying to get your attention. Well, what do you want instead? Right? And the emotional body, it has logged chronologically, it is a genius, every single moment that has ever happened, good or bad or in between, and all the five senses, what you were smelling, tasting, seeing, maybe touching, all of them, right? Hearing, all the things and so when scents or things come back, and we have good ones. So some of us, when we smell cinnamon or nutmeg, we immediately think of Christmas or grandma's kitchen, and we're back there, and it's logged everything from that moment of pure joy, but it's also logged everything else.
right.
So the time when people didn't say whatever, right? And so these are the things that people don't realize, that's it's the subtlest things, or things that make you feel smaller or less than, or not smart enough. Guaranteed something happened somewhere in your life, and something got triggered, either by something, the way it was said to you, or the way the information was presented, or maybe even, like TV or movies, or even like smokers, for instance, or people trying to recover from alcoholism, and then they see people drinking on the TV or whatever, what, it triggers these things, and you're like, that's all of that happened for a reason, and we drank for a reason, and we smoked for a reason, to mask it or to navigate the discomfort. But the reality is that all is energy. And sometimes when people are mean to you, just like the ugly water, they throw it on you, and it changes and transforms your energy on a cellular level, and it does not leave unless you become aware of it, or start doing energy work, or doing something for it to shift and transform. So when I have the amazing ability to get these roots like in seconds. So all I need people to say is, "Oh, I wanted to write a book, but I don't know why. I just keep procrastinating." And I'll be like, "All right, there's the target." And I go, "Okay, what's stopping or blocking me? What's from getting this book going? What's having me feel this?" And I'll be able to pinpoint the trapped traumas and the unprocessed emotions. And some people, they want to know when, and I can drill down to the exact day, time, the year that it
Wow.
happened, because it's all in your brilliant subconscious mind housed. It's amazing, you guys. So yep, the small insecurities, fear of heights, all of these things are really trapped traumas or unprocessed emotions, because the core of us is fearless. Like the core of us is curious and excited and adventurous and all the things. So if you are anything other than that, it's because somebody told you, stop, don't feel that way. Stop crying. You don't need to feel that way. Like, And we're like, okay. So then for the rest of our lives, anytime anything remotely close to that, we feel that way. We're like, don't feel that way. And we buckle it up.
Yeah. No, we end up doing that and we don't realize. Like I tell people and my clients and things, it's like no one sits you down and says, "Hey, remember that belief or moment in time where such has happened and you feel this way?" Yeah, you don't have to feel it anyway anymore. That no longer serves you. Let's let it go, dissolve it, and then if you have to solve something else, and then because then people wonder why they're not living life they want, having what they want because they're living with programming. They don't realize programming because well, that's what happened to me, and they think they're past it. They are the adult side of them, but the inner child or child of them is like, I'm still here in time, frozen in this moment. I need you to deal with this because if not, I'm going to come out at the worst time possible for you. You're gonna act like a fool and you trigger whatever, and then you're gonna feel dumb because you haven't dealt with it. That's what happens. And that's what people are like, he's acting like a child. Well, yeah, because literally the inner child is coming out and saying, hey, fucker, deal with this
You
now.
don't
I'm tired of
remember,
it.
but I remember when we were 3. And they said,
Exactly.
you don't remember, but I remember when we were 7.
Yeah. So why is it happening? Because you're not dealing with the unprocessed emotion that's coming up. Deal with it, be with it, and you're good.
Yes, because if people would just acknowledge it, because that's why it's a trapped trauma or an unprocessed emotion. But if and that's why to a certain degree talk therapy could be helpful, but the problem with talk therapy is it doesn't get you to the root a lot of times. And you're swimming around in all the symptoms and they don't get to the root. So if the root isn't processed, then it still is an unprocessed emotion. And that can only be attained by, like you said, sitting with it and allowing yourself to really, and for me, I pray. I pray a lot. Please help me get the wisdom behind this. Help me to get it quickly,
There you
quickly,
go.
smooth, gentle, comfortable, and harmoniously, but in the fastest way possible so that I can then process and then I can sit with. And that's why making amends is so helpful because you get to sit. But not only that, but then you could pour back in and be like, I recognize when whatever happened, whatever, and it really made me feel this way. And even though I'm an adult, man, my daughter and I'm blessed. My daughter is a mini me, so we're able to have these things. And one of the things, okay, I was married for a very long time and for over 33 years in the marriage and then separated for 5.
Mm.
And so that's a long time for my daughter who's 41 years old to ever not see me with him. And so when I began dating, she was okay when I was dating until I got exclusive, right? And then when I just was like, I have met the most incredible king. I am enthralled with this man and I know I want this for forever. I knew I have never in my life and I knew in this day and age I really wasn't ever in love with the first husband. It was because I got pregnant. You know what I mean? And then and I wasn't in love with the second one. It was more of an arrangement. He kind of was at the point where he never thought he would find love. And I was so broke down from my first marriage, and he was like, "Oh, no one's gonna want you. You're fat and you're ugly and you have 3 kids." The
Jeez.
first husband, he had broke me down, so I just didn't think I was gonna have anything. So I was like, "Well, shoot," you know what I mean? And we did our best for a really long time, but and so for the first time, I am so madly and deeply in love, and it keeps triggering these things in her, and but we're able to. And she was like, "You know what, Mom? I remember when I was 7 years old and you and Dad had broke up and you were dating somebody else and this happened and so we were able to sit and process it and then that helped each thing keeps freeing up the next thing. But she said she had to sit with it and is like, why is this bothering me so much? Why is it bothering me so much that my mom's finally happy? I knew she never was treated well by Dad like the way she needed to be. Why is this hurting me so bad? And then it comes from again when I was 7 years old. But she had to sit with it.
Yeah. because that part that it's the part of you that wants the unconscious mind, subconscious mind that wants to keep things the same as you knew, because that's what it knows how to keep you safe. Even though it
It does.
sucks, like
It's
this is
keeping
what
you keeping you safe.
yeah, it's like this is what we know. You're like, I don't like this. Well, that's what we know. We don't know what that this new thing is. We could get it die, or we may not be able to handle it. So you have to like align the two. So it's like, hey, this is better. We're safe. We have, oh, okay, great. Now we can have it. But
Yeah.
I like people
Which,
fight themselves and it becomes such a battle to go after things. Or like, why can't I get what I want? Well, because you're fighting yourself. You don't realize it, and then especially when it comes to money, where it finally dawned on me like this year that the struggle with money, it part of it is beliefs that we're talking about money. There's that, but the main bigger part it really has nothing to do with money itself. Tell me you agree with this. It deals with you, what you believe about yourself. You believe if you feel like you're not worthy or lovable on an unconscious level, not conscious,
yep.
and that's what it is. And so because of that, you won't have the money you want. You get what the money you need because you want to live. That will always be there. But as far as the amount you want,
Yep.
everything else, because think about it, like if you can't, if you believe that you're not very cool or great or you're just like dog shit or whatever it is, that belief is there. Do you really think that you're gonna get like better example is if you believe you're a bad boy, bad girl, do you think bad boy, bad girls get what they want? Like, no, they don't. So it's gonna stay away. And people don't realize you have to address that. And then traumas come in too from that prevent you from having that. And it's like, how do you process that and let it go? And again, not identify with it. Oh, you can't relate to my trauma. You're not your trauma. You're not these things that you went through. It's like we're all walking around with energetic wounds that aren't
Yep.
healed, and we're like, well, I don't feel it anymore. It's still there. It'll be triggered in some way, like, how I hurt. It's showing you the moment you are triggered, it's happening for your benefit if you choose to see it as such to say, do you
Yep.
still believe this shit? Or this is unresolved. Do you want to resolve this now? Because if not, it's gonna keep happening over and over and over. It won't stop. But
Yeah.
oh, you have free will.
And it's triggered like a splinter. It's like, hey, I got something in here. Do you want to take it out? Or hey, I'm letting you know. Hey, I want to be healed. Yes. And you know the thing is until you value yourself and really love yourself, then there is no way that that inner self will perceive or believe that I'm worthy to receive amazing things. There's no way. And so then it's like we live in this survival energy, like you're saying, we could just only get to like I call it like the middle classy kind of thing, where it's just enough, maybe a little savings and leaving past paycheck to paycheck. But it's like the probability or the ability to fathom I could be a millionaire or I could be a billionaire or I could be whatever, and not from a place of greed, but a place of going, you know what? I believe that I have value and the contribution that I can provide to this world will be so helpful and beneficial that it will pour back into me in monetary deposits.
Right.
Then that's the thing. And so if you don't believe that your value is so high that then you'll never ever be able to have an abundant bank account, because you have to believe that you're valuable and that you're providing something, whether it's wisdom or whatever, that is of benefit to others. Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's what it comes down to. It's a very I want to say it. I don't want to say it. It's a very it's a different view. I for some reason I want to say profound. I don't feel like it's profound, but different view where it was, oh, it's not the money, it's me judging myself based on whatever happened to me in the past, you know. So
Yeah. And so for me, one of the hugest limiting beliefs that I had was my mom, when I was, I don't know, maybe 14 or 15, whatever, she told me that I was going to be a drain on society.
wow.
and she said it when she was like mad and in that, you're just going to be a drain on society. And that I know propelled me most of my life to be so it taught me, oh, it made me feel like I don't want to be a burden to anybody. And it was so detrimental in my, self-esteem and in so many ways that I I worked extra hard everywhere I went. And even though I continually received awards or like employee of the quarter or things like that, I still never felt like I was doing anything because I just kept feeling like I was a drain and that I was a burden on people, and I wouldn't ask for help, yeah, so I was like, I was so glad because, and when I was able to heal that, my whole life transformed in such profound ways, like you said, in ways so unexpected. Not just in the monetary way, but in the types of friends that I began attracting, and the different experiences. And yes, it's so brilliant. I just love it. And I really, really believe that every single moment of impact, or every single, I call them initiations. I love them. I'm 51% Native American, and I believe we're all going through these initiations, that everything was the initiation to carry the medicine that I carry, which is, for you guys, is just to have the wisdom that you have, because when everything we get through, we logged forever how we freaking got through it. We're
Yeah.
like, when I was homeless, I know what I had to do to get up off the streets. When I was, you know what I mean? And we all carry this wisdom, and through the initiations we go through, and when we look at it that way, it's more empowering. And now we could stand in this place of wisdom and go, you know what? I've gone through a heck of a lot of stuff. And maybe I might have earned a little bit now, or whatever it takes for you to start leaning into the perception that it's okay to want things, and it's okay to, and this is what I really hope for the world to understand, is that creator, God, universe, the thing that brought us here wants us to live our best life, and the most expressive versions of ourselves, where we love ourselves, where we're illuminated, where every day is amazing, where we truly believe like that Peter Pan can fly, that we believe in Santa Claus, whatever it is,
Right.
that feeling, that's the feeling that helped me to heal, that helped me to walk. Do you know how many people are paralyzed and will never walk again, and they believe what the doctor said? Because I refuse to believe what the doctor said,
Right.
and I created something different. So in the same way, it's like God wants us to be the best, most expressive version of ourselves in the ways that feels the funnest, because then he then therefore gets to be the biggest and best version of his, and express it and help you express it more. And then that's when the flow comes, and the abundance and the joy and the happiness, and the people who really value you, and the people who really appreciate you, and the people who love you because you are extra and you're expressive and funny and outgoing, or whatever it is that makes you unique. And it's so brilliant. People think the opposite. They just, oh, I'm not meant to have money.
Mhm.
Oh, big things aren't meant to happen for me.
Right.
Ah, it's the truth. And again, whatever you think is the truth. But what if you thought that you were here to experience blessings that unfold one after another in perfect alignment with what serves your highest and greatest good? What if you believed that every single day a multitude of blessings just just continue to appear based on all of your visions and decisions? What if? What if you believed that all day, every day, and gave thanks for it? Possibilities are infinite.
I agree. It's so what you're also saying is that it doesn't serve you or anyone else to play small, because you can't really be happy that way. You'll just be like, I have just that's what it is. And always be
Yeah,
bugged
because
inside.
that's like telling the big oak tree, big oak tree. Do you really want to be big? Of course I want. Because again, we are here for expansion and elevation and experience.
Yep.
Yes. And none of us are supposed to be, we're all supposed to be big trees. We're not little bushes. And some people think, oh no, they told me I was a little bush. So then they stay being a little bush. But
No.
but but we're not. And that's what we do. That's what we do. Because of, oh, grandma said, oh, you can't never be nothing. You girl, you're not smart enough. Just get married. My grandma, people say the craziest things. And especially when it's somebody who's a person of authority in your life and they tell you some crazy stuff, it it sticks with you. When my 4-year-old baby, okay, so my sister told me and my auntie that I wore this little tutu, this ballerina tutu for 2 years. Like and one day I went to my dad and I was like, I want to be a ballerina. And he looked at me and he said, you can't be a ballerina. You don't have the body for it.
Jeez.
And so not only then did I, because I know I should have been a dancer. I know I should have. I still love to dance. And but not it that 4-year-old, it took me years to get her to heal, to believe that she could dance again and to believe that she could have a dream again and to believe that something was possible.
Oh, that's me. I thought. No, you're right on that. It's what was I gonna say? It all relates to that. Not playing small. No, I remember now. Okay. Yeah, and you're right now because a mentor of mine poses this question, and it's like, and it makes you think, do you think, like out in the wild with animals, that an eagle goes, you know what? I shouldn't eat that. I shouldn't go out and hunt for food today because there may not be enough. Well, I don't deserve that. Or a tree goes, I shouldn't grow a stone. Or like whatever animal goes, you know what? I shouldn't go out and go after X, Y, and Z because it may not be enough. Whatever they don't think that we're the only ones that do. And I also made
They
a
know, they
yeah,
know that there's more than enough.
yeah, they do that. And then it's like I had another example. I'm trying to remember of like oh man, when we go out for what we want, here we go. It's not the best analogy, but it gets people to think. Like when you go to make a meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Let's say it's dinner, right? You make dinner, either I mean make it, not order something where you can, but let's say you make it, you go out, you find out what you need, you may go to the store, get the ingredients, you come back, put it together, and you make it, right? We'll
Hmm.
do that. When it comes to what we want, we'll go, oh no, I shouldn't have it. We'll list every reason, bullshit reason why we can't do it. We try and do it, we can't. We just question shit if we don't do anything. It's like if you want to make a meal, the desire is there. I want to eat. I want this, whatever it is. Right? But you don't go, you know what? I don't know if I should make the spaghetti because it may not turn out right, and I may not, it may not be.
Yeah.
You don't doubt yourself when making a meal, but we'll do that when we go for what we want. Like
With
I don't
everything
know.
else. Yes.
I don't know if
Yes.
you make this bacon and egg sandwich because I'm not worthy of it. It may not be enough. I mean, it may not, you don't doubt it. You just make it. If it tastes bad, you just
Yes.
go, all right, you make it again, or you order something.
Yes.
Well, we'll do that for what it's just funny.
Yes,
Yeah,
and the
but
thing is the people, please listening audience, understand that if you are curious about it, if it excites you, if something about it, then it is because you are supposed to do it. That is your emotional body aligning with your spiritual body, encouraging the mental body to do something. But just and just if you just remind yourself, anytime it's something new, your mind is like your computer database. So your mind only has information from the past. So when you want a new experience, when you want a new life, when you want all these things, that mind, like I told you, it's going to go, wait, I'm going to teach you, protect you, and motivate you. Wait, are you sure? I'm going to teach you, I'm going to protect you and motivate you based on past information. So when we know it's new, then we could go, oh, thank you, crazy thought. Thank you, crazy whatever, because go back to the back of the bus. I'm going somewhere new. You don't know where we're going. So I'm going to go get some more information. I'm going to go get some more research. I'm going to get some support. I'm going to get a mentor. I'm going to get a new book. I'm going to get, because I know. that it does not have it's doing its best, but for something new, it's going to require something new. So, yep. And if you're excited about it and curious about it, or even angry about something, that's the other thing. If it promotes emotion, it's because you are supposed to get more information about it. So, yes, but most people don't, they do the opposite.
And that's an interesting perspective. You said that if you get emotion, if there's emotion about something you want to do, it means you should investigate more about it. You said, and you just said even with anger. I didn't think about that. I'm like, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that perspective. So it's like if you're like, ooh, that means you should dive more into it versus, ooh, nah, I don't know. Which I've done before in the past. We've all done it. It's like, I don't know if I should, but the desire doesn't go away. It's like, I don't know. And then you finally do it. You're like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Because that passion is pushing people. Like,
Yep.
right? Because some people, they're like, they get so offended by somebody's words or actions or whatever that they feel pushed to take action, and that's yes, it's motivating you. It's motivating you to take action, or to be like, why are they thinking like that? And then to maybe gain more perspective or whatever it is. But yes, it's always something to pursue, or else you wouldn't feel so strongly about it. And that's how laws get passed, and that's how new books get out, and that's how information, you know what I mean, because they're like, don't do that, you people, they're cheating you. Or you know what I mean,
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
is.
yeah. It's like, I don't know. So, um, from your experience of doing what you do, we've given a lot. Like, what are some like tips you could give people in just like, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z. What should they understand? What should they know about, going for the life that they want from your perspective?
So the first thing that I invite everyone to do is really get clear about what it is. Because I like my honey, he always says, you could either be a light bulb and be over here lighting everything, or you could be laser focused.
Mm,
And so if you want to be laser focused, then and be a sniper who is skilled, then it requires that type of clarity. But if we're a person who's over here like, well, wishy-washy, and well, maybe, and well, I kind of like this and that and that, nah, then you're going to get that experience. So first and foremost is do your very best to really really get clear and sit with yourself. I love how you said that, Matt, to sit with yourself and really ask yourself, what is making me happy right now? Because so many of us, so we have goals from 10 years ago that we're like, I'm going to buy a boat. And as we're keep saving and saving and going, the next thing you know, it's like, shoot, I want a yacht. I don't even want it. No, you know what? Now I want it. Whatever, right? But we're so late, so fixated on that we're not allowing the evolution, and the growth and awareness of who we are right here in this moment. Because when
right.
we wanted that, we were somebody different. We change every day, and I evolve every day. You know what I mean? So I know a year ago, the things I thought I wanted, I don't want now. I want a different version maybe of it, or a different thing. So first, get clear about what it is that makes you happy right now, because that's the thing. More than likely, the thing that's going to make you money is the thing you think that you will never get paid for. The thing that you love, that this is what I ask people to ask themselves to get clear. If you had all the money in the world, all the support in the world to take care of your kids and dogs and your plants, and all no everything covered, what would you be doing? What would you do all day, every day? Because that's the thing. That's the thing that's going to make you the money. So once you figure that out, the next most important thing is to then begin looking for examples of people who have successfully accomplished that. So many people go dive into these books and these things and these programs and and they're searching out, or more importantly, they go and ask their family who has never done none of the stuff, has never been successful, and then they get all this really bad advice and they wonder why they're not successful. So really, once you get clear about what you want to do, maybe become a real estate agent, maybe sell pontoons, maybe who knows, then start looking for the people who have successfully done it because they will get you there the fastest. And third, and so important is to always be aware of self. And as you go through your journey, put you first and make sure you're checking in with yourself. How are you feeling mentally? Are you feeling stressed? Are you feeling anxious? Because the flow of life should not feel like that. When you're in flow, it should feel some pressure maybe and some other kind of energies, but it will not be stressful. And emotionally, where are you at? You know what I mean? And all of these things. And am I resting enough? Because some of us drive ourselves too much and some of us don't push ourselves enough. Some of us know that we need a coach or a mentor because we're incapable of sustaining the motivation ourselves. And so to give yourself permission to do that, because until you realize what your recipe of success is, which means caring for your mind, for your emotions, for your spirit, and for your physical self. They all need to be nourished. They all need to be educated, and I mean, exercised, and they all need rest. You know what I mean? And they all need it differently. So I have an amazing video I made. It's if you go to the number 4 bodiesofenergy.com, you could get a free copy. And I teach about this because it's like, what does that even look like? Nourishing my mind, resting my mind. People are like, that's impossible. My mind never stops, but it really is possible. So again, that is the number 4 bodiesofenergy.com. And I talk about it because when you are able to care for all of those bodies, then it supports that trajectory and you have clear thinking and you're able to really, because if you want it, it's not going to be easy. Life isn't, and this is what I say, going to work every day miserable is just as hard, if not harder, than
Yep.
going after what you want. Right, Matt?
I like that. That's a good point. Like it's people. It's hard. I'm like, well, what you're doing is hard too, but harder when you can go after the one and be happy along the way. That's a big
At
difference.
least going for what you want, you have a possibility of happiness, but staying in a place or a job that is miserable
None.
just because you're too scared or too whatever to take a chance or to start, yeah, that's even more miserable. Because this is what I know for sure, all is energy. The energy of regret it's similar to the energy of failure, but
Mm,
the difference is the energy of regret always is a haunting what if, what could have happened. And the difference is failure, that you initially have the same energy, but then that energy goes with, but you know what, I learned that if I did this differently, but you come away with something.
yep.
And instead of that haunting, oh, I'll never know, I'll never know. And more than likely that failure is just I love it. So my acronym for failure is finding alignment in life. So what it's telling you is that that wasn't your recipe. It might have had too much salt, but
Right.
but to keep going, and it's helping you find the alignment to get to the perfect recipe of success.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I'm done. I don't do anything else. That's it. But
Dun, dun,
Trey,
dun.
this has been a good episode. Thanks for being on. Any last thing you want to share? And then more importantly, you shared a lot, but how can people get in touch with you as well?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so very much for that. Well, I'm on all the social media platforms, so if you go to Trey Urban, and I love go subscribe to my YouTube. It's really doing well over there, and I go live and do all kinds of shorts. But if you want to reach me personally, go to traytalk.net. TRA talk, because Trey be talking. This is some Trey talk you got today. So traytalk.net, and it's important .net, not .com. So TRATALK.net, and there it has all my different things, some of my different products and solutions. It definitely has my new book up there. It has my social media contacts, and it has my email and my phone number, and yes, a calendar, because I offer complimentary 15-minute connections to help people really get clarity, because I want to pour back in, because so many people took time to help me get clear about my path. So I'd love reciprocating just like you, pouring back in all the ways. So thank you for that. And oh, and yeah, that has its own website if you want. claritycallwithtrey.com.
Cool.
Clarity Call with Trey, TRA.com.
I get.
So thank you, Matt. And I look
You're welcome.
forward to reconnecting with you again. And I'm sending you so many blessings of success and abundance. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And I am just asking Creator to bless the sales of those books, and so it could pour out to all the other people. It's going to be amazing. I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, thank you.
Hey, thank you for being on. It's been really good. Appreciate it. Awesome. All right.
Blessings.